Hey guys, my name is Big Mazurak, and in this video I'm going to discuss why we men must always be strong, why it's not a myth, and what the consequences are going to be when we show weakness. So it's often been said in recent times that the idea that men must always be strong physically, psychologically, financially, emotionally, is a masculinist trope or so-called toxic masculinity, but it's not. It's the truth. It's pure, unadulterated truth, which has always been true and will always be true. Unfortunately for us men, strength is our only option, and here's why. To start with, and to say the most obvious, women hate and despise weak men. As Chris Canwell has so rightfully said in one of his videos, women are nature's sword. They are the means by which nature punishes weak men, by eliminating them from the genetic pool, by ensuring that they do not reproduce, because nature doesn't want weak individuals to reproduce. This is why throughout history 80% of all women who have ever lived and only 40% of all men who have ever lived have managed to reproduce, meaning that the remaining 60% of men or boys who have ever lived on this planet have utterly failed to reproduce. Their genetic code has not been passed on. But the consequences of weakness for us men reach far, far beyond rejection from women and the resulting inability to reproduce, because the consequences are more severe than you may think. For example, if you run out of money, if you have an empty bank account, banks are only waiting for that to charge you extra fees for overdrafting your account and to seize your home for foreclosure if you are paying off a mortgage. Thugs in the street are only waiting for a weak victim to pass in order to attack it and rob it of all of its possessions. And I could go on and on. The same consequence is true for every country in the world. This is why I've always been, and I will always be, at the national level in politics, a hardline proponent of a strong national defense, and I've always been, and you can read my blog. I've written about this extensively over the years, even publishing 2 books on the subject. Weak nations tempt aggressors, while strong nations pay a lot of money to maintain a strong military and then never having to actually use it. And the same is true for individuals, and more specifically for us men. We need a strong financial security cushion and a sizable income in order to survive and to pay for all our living expenses and those of our families. We need to be strong physically in order to defend ourselves and our families and anyone else who is entrusted to our care. We need to be mentally and physically strong in order to survive and deal with any challenges that life may throw in our way. And believe me, there are going to be challenges. There are going to be life crises. Us men never have the luxury of being allowed to be weak. Women can afford to be weak, and they will always find men to take care of them. Because for any woman except the most ugly ones, there will always be guys willing to take care of her, even if they don't get laid. As Rich Cooper has rightfully said in his videos, only women, children, and pets are loved unconditionally. Women are loved only to the extent that we provide for and protect our families. So remember, guys, always work to become ever stronger financially, intellectually, physically, emotionally, and to have an ever higher social status. As men, nature created us to be strong and to provide and protect. That is our evolutionary mandate. As men, we never have the luxury of being weak. For us men, strength is our only option. Thanks for watching.